Well, I'm Dr. Pavan Duggal, Advocate Supreme Court of India and Cyberlaw and AI law expert.
Thank you, sir. So my question to you is, do you think that the Indian healthcare ecosystem is going through a challenging time? And do you also feel that these challenges can be tackled with in the near future?
I believe the Indian health ecosystem is currently undergoing humongous amount of challenges. I want to concentrate on two. One is the challenges pertaining to personal data. Why? Because the healthcare ecosystem is replete with personal data of data principles. And there's a new law in place, being the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, which has already come into force. And the reality is that most of the healthcare ecosystem stakeholders haven't even woken up to the fact that this new law has come up. It's going to be impacting them. Somehow the presumption is that via healthcare we will be exempt totally, is a very erroneous exemption. Why? Because I believe today the government has the power to exempt various sectors from the applicability of this law, but to say that everybody and every sector, every stakeholder in the healthcare ecosystem is going to be impacted or is going to be exempted may not be correct. So I would definitely want the ecosystem stakeholders to start getting more prepared. And even in case you are exempt, we'd still be required to ensure proactive compliance with the provisions of the Digital Personal Data Protection Act and the rules and regulations. That's the first big thing. Otherwise, there are humongous fines ranging from 50 crore rupees to 250 crore rupees for one contravention. And the fines will have to go to Government of India in the form of payment to Consolidated Fund of India. And should you say, I don't have money, no problem, the government will have the ability and the right to go ahead and attach your assets, sell your assets for purposes of recovery of those monies. So that's the first big thing, big challenge that I think stakeholders need to wake up to. The second bigger challenge is the ability of the healthcare ecosystem not to realize the legal policy and regulatory ramifications of AI. It's an AI age, everybody is talking about AI, but more significantly, healthcare ecosystem stakeholders are increasingly deploying AI as part of their healthcare functions. And you're coming up with new offerings, you are putting them, but then you are not really adequately protecting your legal interests. Well, it's correct that India doesn't have a dedicated law on AI as of now yet, but AI will still be considered as your agent. So should you deploy any AI kind of an offering or service, and you haven't done your due diligence, or you have not adequately protected yourself in the contracts, then you as a healthcare ecosystem stakeholder will be the principal. And that being so, you will be held accountable for the acts done by AI. And should AI cause harm, then you will be responsible. I think the ecosystem stakeholders need to specifically review their existing and new contracts in the context of wherever they are putting in or deploying AI in the healthcare ecosystem. Try to protect their legal interests and try to have adequate contractual protections, safeguards and provisions so that your legal interests can be adequately protected, because AI is now getting rogue. And you also don't know when does AI go ahead and, shall I say, collect personal data, or when does it actually becomes a data fiduciary in terms of deciding how the data of data principles will have to be appropriately dealt with or processed or collected. So in a scenario like this, it looks very nice and hunky-dory, but the reality is the advent of AI brings in large number of legal, policy and regulatory issues, which I think the ecosystem stakeholder in the Indian environment must specifically be taking into mind and into cognizance as they move forward. These are two big ticket items that I believe that the ecosystem stakeholders in the healthcare sector must definitely keep in mind. Why? In order to protect their legal interests. Number two, in order to protect their businesses. Number three, to protect their reputations. And number four, to protect their existing and also potential business prospects.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. This was very insightful. I'm sure this is going to be very beneficial for our viewers. So thank you for your time and pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.